Welcome back, students. So I thought I'd stick with Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler, right? We started off with Monkey Puzzle last week, and then we enjoyed Room on the Broom. And today we're going to enjoy the Highway Rat. Ooh, he looks kind of fierce. He's wearing a mask with a sword. He kind of looks like a pirate on a horse, right? The Highway Rat by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. And it looks like he's scaring some other animals in the road. And on the back it says, "Beware of the highway rat. He'll steal your food and your heart. Give me your pastries and puddings. Give me your chocolate and cake. For I am the rat of the highway, and whatever I want, I take." Ah, it sounds like he's a guy who steals stuff from other people when they're traveling on the road. The Highway Rat. Okay. Oh, and there he is on the title page. Looks like he's sticking up. Sticking up, that means like when you threaten someone and they have to go, ah, and give you their stuff. He's sticking up like some kind of a squirrel or other animal who's got like a basket of fruit. The Highway Rat by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Axel Scheffler. Okay, there he is riding along. Oh, look. And everywhere he has passed on the road, people look a little sad, and their things have fallen down like he stole their stuff out of their baskets. There's a rabbit, maybe another rodent, and he's like, ha-ha. Okay, let's see what it says. The Highway Rat was a baddie. The Highway Rat was a beast. He took what he wanted and ate what he took. His life was one long feast. His teeth were sharp and yellow. His manners were rough and rude. And the Highway Rat went riding, riding, riding along the highway and stealing the travelers' food. Okay, so this is a baddie of a rat. Look what they called him. The Highway Rat was a baddie. The Highway Rat was a beast. And you can see in the details, these are the travelers along the road who have lost their food to that bad, bad highway rat. A rabbit came hopping along the road, then stopped with her paws in the air, for blocking her way was the Highway Rat, who cried out, "Who goes there? Give me your pastries and puddings, give me your chocolate and cake, for I am the rat of the highway, the highway, the highway. Yes, I am the rat of the highway, and whatever I want, I take." And she's like, oh, it looks like she actually has some vegetables in her basket. Does he eat vegetables too, or only cookies and cakes? What a meanie. "I have no cakes," the rabbit replied. "I just have a bunch of clover." The Highway Rat gave a scornful look, but he ordered, "Hand it over. This clover is bound to be tasteless. This clover is dull as can be. But I am the rat of the highway, and this clover belongs to me." Oh my gosh, he doesn't even like clover, and he's going to steal it from the poor bunny. Ay, ay, ay. And there they go. A squirrel came bounding along the road, then stopped with a shake and a shiver, for reining his horse was the Highway Rat, who thundered, "Stand and deliver! Give me your buns and your biscuits, give me your chocolate eclairs, for I am the rat of the highway, the highway, the highway. Yes, I am the rat of the highway, and the rat thief never shares." "I have no buns," the squirrel replied. I just have a sack of nuts." The robber snatched the sack and snarled, "I'll have no ifs or buts. These nuts are probably rotten. These nuts are as hard as can be. But I am the rat of the highway, and these nuts belong to me. Oh my goodness, there he goes again, stealing something he doesn't even like. He's just looking for sweets. And there's poor squirrel having to give up all his nuts with no ifs, ands, or buts. Some ants came, little ants. Some ants came crawling across the road, then stopped with a somersault. For baring his teeth was the highway rat, who bellowed a deafening halt. Give me your sweets and your lollies. Give me your toffees and chews. For I am the rat of the highway, the highway, the highway. Yes, I am the rat of the highway, and nobody dares to refuse. Well, do you think ants are going to have lollipops and toffees? What are you thinking, Mr. Rat? Let's see what happens. So there, he's stopping the ants, and it looks like the ants are just carrying leaves. And the horse is just watching and waiting. We have no sweets, the ants replied. We just have this nice green leaf. Oh, no, you don't. Not anymore, declared the highway thief. This leaf is nasty and bitter. This leaf is as thin as can be. But I'm the rat of the highway, and this leaf belongs to me. Oh, goodness. And look at all the poor little ant eyes and faces. They're kind of like, oh, why are you taking away that leaf? Look, this little ant is looking up. With never a please or a thank you, the rat carried on in this way. Flies from a spider, milk from a cat. He once stole his own horses, hey. The creatures who traveled the highway grew thinner and thinner and thinner, while the highway rat grew horribly fat from eating up everyone's, did you get the rhyme? Dinner. So, flies from a spider, milk from a cat, and even his own horse's hay. Wow, he's going to eat hay? Jeepers creepers. And look, they're all getting thinner and thinner, and he's just getting fat. Look, there's all the little leftovers. A duck came waddling down the road, then stopped with a, "How do you do?" "I see you have nothing," the rat complained. "In that case, I'll have to eat you." "I doubt if you're terribly juicy. Most likely you're tough as can be. But I am the rat of the highway, the highway, the highway. Yes, I am the rat of the highway, and I fancy a duck for tea." I got to stop and think for a minute. So remember, for tea time is actually like dinner time in England, right? And Julia Donaldson is English. So when he says, "I fancy a duck for tea," it means he wants a duck for his dinner time. Here's a little duck who's come along. And, oop, he's pointing his sword at her. Very rude. "Hang on," quacked the duck, "for I have a sister with goodies you might prefer. I know that she'd love to meet you, and I'm certain that you'd like her. For in her cave, her deep dark cave, right at the top of the hill, are biscuits and buns aplenty, and there you may eat your fill." Ooh, and there's a think bubble showing the rat thinking about the other duck who has all the cookies. Biscuits, remember biscuits? Biscuits are cookies in England, right? "Lead on!" cried the rat, and they took to the road, which seemed it would never end. Onwards they rode, and upwards, bend after bend after bend. Oh, look at this, bend after bend after bend. Oh, and they're going up to a cave where there's snow. And there's the little duck riding on the rat's horse. And up to the cave where there's snow. Ooh. Do you think maybe it's a trick? Let's see. At last they came to a lonely cave, and the duck began to quack. She quacked, "Good evening, sister, sister." And "Sister, sister, sister," a voice from the cave came back. So she got off. She's going, "Sister, sister, sister." And from the cave she hears, "Sister, sister, sister." "Do you have cakes and chocolates?" the highway robber cried. And "Chocolates, chocolates, chocolates," the voice from the cave replied. "I'm coming to take them," the rat thief yelled. His greedy eyes grew round. And "Take them, take them, take them," came back the welcome sound. The highway rat leapt off his horse, and into the cave he strode. That means into the cave he walked. To stride is to like walk with purpose. So I gotta stop and think for a sec. So they're calling into the cave. So first he says, "Do you have cakes and chocolates?" And back out comes the sound, "Chocolates, chocolates, chocolates." And then he says, "I'm coming to take them." And then they hear, "Take them, take them, take them." And into the cave he goes. Okay, here we go. And there he goes, striding into the cave. The duck took hold of the horse's reins and galloped down the road, faster and ever faster, following all the bends. The plucky young duck went riding, 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 galloping down the highway, back to her hungry friends. So what did she do? When the rat went into the cave, she jumped on the horse, back to her poor skinny friends. Then they shared out the food from the saddlebags and feasted all night long. Bright were the flames of the bonfire, loud was the music and song. Wild was the moonlight dancing, merry the cheer and chat. For now they could live in freedom, safe from the highway rat. Oh, look, everyone is so happy. I have to look at this myself. Look at, oh, everybody's happy, and they're sharing out the nuts and the leaves. And they have a few biscuits. They have a few cookies and carrots. Everybody's happy away from the rat. But what do you think happened to the rat? Let's see. And as for the rat in the echoey cave, he shouted and wandered until he found his way out of the darkness on the other side of the hill. So, here he is wandering through the cave until he gets to the other side of the hill. So there never was anyone in the cave. It says the echoey cave. Echo. So an echo is when you're somewhere and you say something and then the sound bounces back to you a little. So that's all it was. But here he comes out at the other side of the hill. A thinner and grayer and meeker rat. Meek means not so. And meeker rat. He robs on the road no more, for he landed a job in a cake shop. A cake shop, a cake shop. And they say he still works in the cake shop, sweeping the cake shop floor. Okay. There he is sweeping. Oh, there's a little cat looking in the window. Look, here's the sweet shop. Different animals enjoying the cakes. And there he is sweeping, but he does get to eat the crumbs. Wow. I bet there are more leftovers and crumbs of sweets in a cake shop than the stuff he was getting before. And that's the fate of the highway rat. Ooh, it's making me want a little bit of sweets. And at the very end, there's a lovely little picture of the animals, a frog and a rabbit on the road, now able to enjoy their food. Not losing it to the highway rat anymore. So wasn't that fun? The highway rat. I am the rat of the highway. Wow, he was a baddie, wasn't he? And this is fun. Oh my gosh. Here's all the different Julia Donaldson books. I have almost all of those. Well, not all of them, but almost. But unfortunately, quite a few of them are in my classroom. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Highway Rat. Isn't that fun? Julia Donaldson makes up such fun rhyming books. Anyway, I hope you get a chance to get outside today. It's just beautiful, really beautiful and sunshiny. I can hear the birds. Be sure to keep washing your hands, cover your coughs and sneezes, do some reading, do some writing, help your family around the house. I love you guys. I miss you. Elbow bump.